Real quick video, giving all praise to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Bashim, Kakadash. Barak Shai, the honors to apostles, elders, bishop, great millstone. My salutation to the brothers teaching word for the hopeful elect, soon to be the elect most high will. And that time is sooner than later. And I just want to get to the point that these Christians should take a back seat, man. And their main opposition, I believe, is GMS. They finally got something they could, here's something. But they fail miserably, and they want to make the world seem like they make valid points, Now, getting this scripture right here. Now, even dealing with Paul, if you go back, and look how they got Paul looking, man. Like a caveman Edomite and shit. This is not Paul, man. Paul was a Benjamite, and then when you go to the Russian icons, they got him painted as a so-called black man, if you will. And don't say that Rush shit, because, there's white around the picture where that didn't rust. And this was during, we ruled Europe for 1,000 years, so there's a lot of icons that Russia pulled out, of the past Byzantine Empire that they kept that depict these pictures. And they have them also, if you go back to the Moors, which were Israelites basically, and, they had a lot of iconic depictions and emblems of and paintings and of different kinds broadcasted on, throughout the earth, or, places, regions that showed their authority, who was in, just like they do. They coin, themselves on the dollar, on the dollar bill and on the money. They make sure, that you see that image on there. Even Yahweh Shai, son of God, said, show me the inscription on the penny. Whose image is it? Given to Caesar what is Caesar's. So, they speak from the wrong perspective anyway. They don't. If you're gonna teach the Bible, you gotta teach the Bible for the truth of what it is. And if you teach and believe that the children of Israel were so-called white people, then you have no point. You have no valid points at all. You might as well fold and put the Bible up, or do your own thing on the other side of the fence, man. And we know this scripture. We come out with this scripture. It says Jeremiah 28:8. It says, the prophets that have been before me and before of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. And, people like Vocab, he's not a big deal, man. We just point him out. If there's a fly in the room, it's small, but you take care of it. If there's a fly on the face of a lion in the jungle, then, he's going to dip himself in the water to get rid of him, So, against many countries and against great kingdoms of war, evil and pestilence. And none of these Christians are doing this, man. They're just now starting to talk about war. And they don't talk about this World War III. They don't talk about the end time war stuff. They don't talk about the end time of anything, because they don't want it to be. They making too much money in those churches. They're doing too good. And they got access to women and men's husbands and all that. They're having too much so-called fun, and get to dress the nicest suits and be seen of men and be the focal point of the whole body of the church and all that. You know, it says if you be a bound, know to be a base. That's what Paul said. And, you know, for them to try to come against Paul or anything that we say concerning Paul, Paul was doing that same thing. He was teaching about, sodomy being wrong. He was teaching about long hair is a shame to a man. A lot of those things that these people will have a problem with, these Christians will have a problem with today. That's why they have a problem now. It's an issue it's this issue. They never had an issue like this with Paul or with the very Son of God who they ignorantly call Jesus. They never had a problem until one West, but the boiling point and the boiling issues that they have from One West is GMS. So if you're not talking about and then you say, well, they say they just that's the old stuff, man. That's the Old Testament. Well, it said the things of old is for our learning, man. It's written a different way, but let me get it. This won't be long. It says, Romans 15:4, for whatever things were written before were written for our learning. So why are we still learning from the old school, from things that are written in the Old Testament, if there's no application of it today? And one thing about these Christians, the more they come against GMS, the more they prove that they're trying to prove the whole Bible wrong. Because Most High is not the author of confusion. He's not putting something out there and making it all a bunch of confusion to where you try to debunk one part and then try to salt and pepper the other part, man. Like the whole Bible goes together. Nothing's missing or strange or out of course. Now, when we go to those parts, like we say, like even today, we the John Revelator, he didn't see things that are, it's the revealing of things that are now, and it says that. It says, men hope for that day. Like Most High did not reveal things until the end. Says, shut up the words of this book, or Daniel, and till the time of the end, paraphrasing. So yeah, I think Most High held things back for its proper time. So, in this day and age, we're able to call things out because the Most High put the Spirit on us to do so. And we're going to call and decipher things, even those things that were not understood yet in the old world. It says, but and to you is given the mysteries. What was that scripture, man? Oh. Yeah, it might not even pop up real quick. Let me see if this is it. Romans 8:18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy. No, that's not it. Hope to see this day. See the promise. Let me see. Yeah, Hebrews 11:13, it says, these all died in faith, not having received the promises. So Was it a false prophecy that they died because the promises were taught that they was, there would be a kingdom to come, and the promises with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, but some died. And some seen others die before that time, but having seen them far off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims of the earth. That's still not the one I wanted, though. Let me see if this is it. And the promises never came quickly, you know. I think see the glory, I think it was. No, I'm not going to be able to find it right quick. Yeah, Luke 10 and 24, it says, "For I tell you that many prophets and kings have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them." So, there's a progress of this thing, and even the promises to come. We're all, it's brothers that have unfortunately passed this time. And, they in the spirit world, but, they didn't see the kingdom come while they were alive. But that doesn't deviate from the prophecies, And a lot of these things, a lot of these people are talking shit, but the prophecies, all the prophecies haven't been fulfilled yet. So these people are basically being impatient, man. And as much when we talk about the end of the world, and we're talking about World War III, and we're talking about these kingdoms going down, and Edom going into slavery along with the other nations as servants, they're like, well, how is this, and when is it gonna happen, and I don't see it, and yeah, because you don't have patience, man. And that's what Christians don't have. They don't have patience. That's why they need that money, that bread right now. They need a whole, they signed a 501c3 charter, and they have a whole congregation right away. And then a lot of times they initially start with their family members, and it's just like another house to dwell in. It ain't even they don't have plans to prophesy the downfall of a wicked kingdom. It's just somewhere, an extra house, to where they're able to grow and feed their families or whatever, and have money to do shit. It ain't got nothing to do with believing in the Bible wholeheartedly, according to the prophecies. Because most Yahweh Shai, it says in the scripture, Yahweh Shai is a spirit of prophecy. What they don't understand about that, man? Prophecy is important, and that's why these devils don't focus on prophecy. They focus on the so-called increments, the little bitty pieces, itty bitty pieces in the Bible, to try to confuse people and try to break the Bible up to where they're able to confound holy men. But the Most High said, like I said, well, in Scripture says, He's not the author of confusion. So if Most High say He hate Esau, there's no way Esau can make it. You can't find in the Bible where Esau is given deliverance. So if the Gentiles that we talk about, of course there's two Gentiles, but if the Most High hated Esau, how could the Gentiles that are saved be Esau if the Most High already did away with them and had their mounds for the dragons, man? And it said there shall no seed, the house of Esau should be for stubble. So if you try to read and try to say, well, what about this part? That means you're trying to debunk the whole Bible. Because the Most High is not divided. His truth is not divided. Now, he got different, what you call, levels of his orchestration and different meanings and coded things of his orchestration. Like he'll send an angel down here to lie. He works on both. He works for. It's like both sides work for him. So, he sent evil angels, and people be like, well, how could God? If you call God this and that, because a lot of Christians don't understand even that way of the Most High. How can you serve a God that's evil like that? Well, that's what it says in the Bible. We're not going to try to break Most High's word up. It said he hated Esau. And then the Christians be like, well, how could you hate? Well, it says God hated Esau, plain. And then it says he's a man of war. And then it says he created evil and good. He wound and he heal. He kill and he make alive. He do all these things. And then all they could say is that, well, that's the Old Testament. Well, so we're dealing with a whole different God in the New Testament, man. He's a whole different God. But the reiteration of things of the Old and the New Testament is the same word. Even what Paul was speaking. Paul wouldn't been speaking against Moism if it wasn't according to the word. And he was taught by Yahweh Shai. It says in the old scriptures, the Old Testament, that if two men lie together, they should be, destroyed. They should surely die. Committing adultery should surely die. And that's what was going on in the New Testament. So much that even it was said that the bishop should have one wife, because that's how extreme these times are. Like we don't have time. If we were kings back then, it wouldn't be no problem. And if we had our shit together, it'd be no problem having many wives. But as the time gets more chaotic and out of course, like it says, and dire, then it's not wise to have too many wives. One or two at the most. But as for the man at Most High get that spirit to deal with those things. But we ain't supposed to have many wives. Solomon had 1,700 wives, 300 concubines. He was a king. If Solomon was here today, he would probably have one wife or no wives, just like Paul. Pretty sure he have no wives, because that's how extreme the times are. Like a lot of these Jews that deal with women, like it ain't no time for that shit no more until the kingdom come. And the Most High won't have no problem with us having many wives in the kingdom. It's just because of this oppressed time and this dire time. These are dire times, and people don't even understand it. They don't think that it is. That's why they don't see the problem. The only problem they see is when the prophet prophesies the end of the world. And they be like, well, it don't look like the end of the world. Vocab, homegrown in a fucking American land and shit. Sent by American political, theological theologians. Probably some lower of the small hats to try to debunk Israel, mainly GMS. So if all that time you trying to come up with this, and then false prophets and this sign thing, when all the so-called souls that Christians supposed to go out there and try to save are being disregarded because you're spending so much of your time dealing with somebody that don't want your business. So just scope it out and realize, if you really listen and you really follow the craft of these certain people, these Christians, you'll find more and more that they're trying to debunk the whole Bible because they never did really believe in the Bible. They don't. If you got a church that's set up by a 50c13 charter, and that you can't talk about certain things, you can't talk about moles, you can't talk about against moles, you can't talk you can't talk about the end of the world, you can't talk about against women because that's women bashing or what do you call it? All these. Then you're not teaching the true gospel, man. you're a false prophet. That's why Yahweh Shai said they leave out the mighty, weightier matters of the law. Judgment got to do with prophecy. Faith got to do with prophecy. It says, "He that lead the captivity shall go to the captivity. He that lead a killer with sword must be killed with a sword." This is the faith and the patience of the saints, man. For a nation to go into slavery, for a nation to be killed with a sword. This is in the New Testament. This is in Revelation. Revelation is all about war and all about the kingdom coming into play with other kingdom taken down, that they fighting against Yahweh Shai, and he gonna take their asses down, put them to death and pulverize their asses. Revelation got a lot, and these devils. You see, any Christian they stay away from Revelation because they don't know what's going on there, and when they try to do it, they break it down wrong, and it don't make no sense if you follow their breakdowns. That's why one preacher said, "Hey man, these Hebrew Israelites, they seem like we can't do nothing about what they saying because what can you do?" They said you can't do anything against the truth but for the truth. So why don't Vocab go into Revelation, man, where it talks about 4 horses, where it talks about the 4 winds, where it talks about angels, where it talks about the abomination of desolation, where it talks about the lamb and talk about the seal, the 144,012 from each tribe sealed. They don't want to go there, man. They talk about this hang up of the signs and the tribe. It's just Edomite shit. It's Edomite shit, man. Their whole game is to support and savor Esau, man, and try to prove that Esau is not the so-called white man. That's their whole thing, man. Anything else, let's party, let's America, let's go. MAGA, Trump, choose, political parties. Let's, love each other. The rainbow, the freedom and liberty to do anything we want to love anybody we want to. Y'all gonna fucking die with these missiles, man. Y'all gonna, Most High got a special judgment for you people, man. You Christians need to take a back seat, man. Because you're not making any sense, man. You're truly not making any sense. And like I said, watch these devils, because all they're gonna do when they speak, they're going to try to put one word against the other to try to debunk the Bible. It ain't even, that's what they're doing. Trying to debunk the whole word of the Most High. Because all things have to flow in one. And you can't divide the Old Testament and the New Testament. You can't say those are different gods. You can't say those are different people. God hated Esau in Romans like he hated Esau back in the Old Testament. He said in the Old Testament and the New Testament, and then they were talking about Esau was done away with, but they still going by the New Testament, which has Esau in it, which says, "I hated Esau." And he even tells a little bit of a story about him. Let them grow up, for what is not the will of men, but it's not of them that, paraphrasing, it's the will of the Most High, not of their will, but it's the purpose of the Most High. So he could show you exactly what he's doing. Though Esau was Jacob's brother, he's going to be hated and laid his mountains laid to waste, and his seed shall be no more. Don't give a damn. That's what the Most High is saying. As a man, we speak it. We don't give a damn if you came out the same womb. If we're brothers in the womb, Most High got a judgment for your ass, man. You know, we all connected, so we gonna have to deal with these matters according to the Bible, because that's the only thing that could sort this stuff out, man. Who's who and where they gonna go, and Anyway, I'm ranting now, man. America, all this one bubble, one United States, we're all the same. We're not all the same, man. That's why you got these different nations bearing arms. China is bearing arms. It's not China and India bearing arms. It's not China and Africa bearing arms together because they're brothers singing Kumbaya. It ain't Africans with the East Indians singing Kumbaya. They're a different nation, and they're bearing arms according to their nation, their nationality. Damn devils, man. If you in America and you believe in America politics, America religion, our religion is not based on America. That's why we don't belong. That's why they're coming against us. It's not American soil planet. It's from the heavens, and that's why they got a problem with us. Anyway, hope it's edifying. Shalom.